Hello, second graders, and welcome to our math lesson for today. Today we're going to be doing lesson 8.9, which is called Display Measurement Data. This is the last part of chapter 8 before we move on to our next unit in math, which is actually going to be working with data. So this is a really good lesson to kind of jump right into our lesson or our unit on data. So we're going to be kind of using something called a line plot in this lesson, and we're going to find out just a little bit more about what a line plot is. So our essential question that we're going to be asking ourselves and answering by the end of this lesson is, how can a line plot be used to show measurement data? So in other words, we're going to be taking data, we're going to be figuring out how we can measure different sized objects and then putting them all into a graph or a piece of data that shows us just how each object kind of compares to the other in length.
Hello! My friends and I come to the river to sail our toy boats. Sometimes we race them. There'll be a lot of toy boats today, and they all have different lengths. Click this boat to check it out. I wonder how I can show the measurements of all the boats. Maybe I can use a line plot to show the data about the boats. Well,
Let's measure this string using an inch ruler and record its length. First, line up the left end of the string with the 0 mark of the ruler. Find the inch mark closest to the other end of the string. The end of the string lines up with 4 on the ruler, so it's 4 inches long. Now find the length of this string and record it.
Okay, so if we use our ruler and measure the length, we put the 0-inch mark kind of right on the very end of the rope, and then we go all the way down to see where that rope ends, and it looks like it ends at about the 3-inch mark.
To start, line up the string with the ruler. Now find where the string ends. The end of the string lines up with the 3 on the ruler, so the string is 3 inches long. How are the lengths of the strings different? The first string is longer than the second string. The first string is 4 inches, and the second string is only 3 inches.
So it's clear that this string is 1 inch longer than this string.
This is a line plot. A line plot is a way to show data. The title of this line plot is Lengths of Pencils in Inches. On this line plot, each X stands for one pencil of a certain length in inches. These are the different lengths of the pencils. On this line plot, the shortest length you can show is 3 inches, and the longest length is 9 inches. How many pencils are 6 inches long?
So to find this answer, right, so these are all the lengths. So the numbers on the line plot are the lengths. So if we're looking for pencils that are 6 inches long, we're going to go to the number 6. And then if we're trying to find out how many pencils were each 6 inches long, we would just count the X's. They don't always have to be X's. Sometimes in math you'll see dots is another common one, circles. You might see like any kind of different shape. This time they're using X's, and we're going to be using X's a lot in our lesson today. But on a line plot, you can really use any object. So they're using X's as the pencils. So we're at 6 inches, and we just count how many pencils there are. 1, 2, 3. So 3 pencils are 6 inches long.
Correct. 3 pencils are 6 inches long. How many different pencils are shown in this data?
So to find that out, okay, we would count how many pencils are of different lengths, right? So it says how many pencils were measured. So we're going to actually just count all of the x's to find out how many pencils were measured. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 9 pencils were measured.
That's right. 9 different pencils are shown in this data.
Okay, and so if a number is blank, obviously, then that means that there were no pencils that measured to that length. So in this example right here, whoever was measuring the lengths of pencils in inches just didn't find a pencil that was 7 inches. It's okay to have this on the plot. You still want to make sure that you add it into your graph so that it goes with all the other numbers. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So even if there is no pencils there, you still want to add it into this line graph so that way you can show that there was a pencil that measured 8 inches long, a pencil that measured 9 inches long. So again, sometimes it's okay if a pencil doesn't have a certain length that is on the plot.
Now let's practice with the personal math trainer.
All right. So for number 1, it says use the data in the list to complete the plot. Okay, so lengths of ribbons is what we're measuring, and there's one that's 6 inches, there's one that's 5 inches, 7 inches, and 6. Okay, so if you can see on the plot, they kind of already gave us the one of them. They gave us the one that was 7 inches long. Okay, now on the next one I see there's 2 pencils that are the same length. So I'm going to look on my chart over here, and I see that there are 2 pencils that that measured to be 6 inches. So therefore this one has to be 6. And then that leaves us with the last one, which would be 5. And from the plot we can see that there's only 1 pencil that measured to be 5 inches. So we're going to make sure that we check that on our chart, and there's only 1 pencil here that shows 5 inches, so therefore this one is 5. So now let's check our answer to make sure our plot is correct.
Excellent.
Nice. All right, and then the same thing for this one. So the lengths of 4 crayons are shown. Complete the line plot. So these are the lengths of crayons. We have a 4-inch, 2-inch, another 4-inch, and 3 inches. So they gave us the 2-inch one right there. So there's only 1 pencil that measured to be, or I'm sorry, 1 crayon that measured to be 2 inches. Then we go to our next one, and this one, there's also only 1 pencil. So I see that there's 1 2-inch pencil, and there's only 1 3-inch pencil. So therefore, this line must be 3. And then our last one, this one shows 2 pencils that measure to be the same length. Okay, and so if we look back at our chart, we already did the 2-inch one. We got the 3-inch one, and now there's 2 crayons here that are 4 inches long. So this plot right here on our plot graph must be 4 inches.
Well done.
Okay.
Now try your homework on your own with the personal math trainer. It includes the exercise you saw at the beginning of the lesson.
So I would definitely check out the next video next to this one where I go over some more activities and examples on the Smart Notebook because I think that some of the activities that we just did, while they do show you how to put the numbers on a line graph or a plot graph, they don't necessarily show you how to actually graph the objects that you measure. So I would definitely check out the video next to this one before going on to Think Central and doing your math homework. So that way you can kind of see some examples and work with some activities that have you actually putting the plots or the X's onto the plot graph. So definitely go and check that next video out. I will see you there, and then after that we can sign into Think Central and complete our math work for 8.9, and then that will be it. We will be done with chapter 8 and we'll be moving on to chapter 10, I think, which is all about data, which is kind of what we've been introduced to so far today. So I'll see you all in the next video.